Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Charles Abels, local photographer in and around the Prescott Valley area. I hope you enjoy my presentation. It's going to be a great day today. I'm off from work. I'm going into Prescott later on, late afternoon, early evening, to participate in Prescott Center for the Arts 4th Art Walk in Prescott. I have a piece on display there, so I'm going to make an appearance as the artist of this piece. But today, because I plan on making it a fun day, I want to share with you what I'm getting ready to do. Earlier this week, I decided what I was going to do is I was going to marry up an old lens, an extremely old lens, almost, shucks, it's almost 90 years old, I believe, if I did my math right. Almost 90-year-old lens with a 2015 circa digital camera, and then go out and have some fun. And this is it. This is a Summar, a Leica Summar lens manufactured in 1934. It's a 50mm lens with a max opening of f2. It is what's often referred to as an LTM lens. That's the Leica thread mount lens. So in order for me to mount it on this M camera, I needed to use an adapter for this. So let me share with some things, and I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go with my smartphone for reference and notes, and we'll go over this lens briefly. So if you forgive me, I'm going to take off my glasses. I don't really need them for reading, even for an old man. Oh, let's highlight this quickly so we can go out and do some serious photography. All right. This particular lens was manufactured between 1932 and 1939. The name for this particular lens is the Ernst Leitz Wetzlar Summar 5cm by f2. The optics are a 6-element, uncoated with an angle of, let's be sure, a 48-degree view. Keep in mind, this lens was designed for 35mm film, photographed through Leica, or photographed in Leica cameras. The diaphragm has 6 blades. The aperture ring has no click, so there's no click when you adjust the aperture. It is marked, ranging from f2, fully wide open, to f12.5, the smallest hole. This doesn't even go down to my favorite f-stop, f16, but we'll work around it because it is an old lens. And overall, oh, and my favorite, if you notice on here, it is a collapsible lens. So I can close this up and collapse it in. And of course, the one thing is you always have to remember to pull it out and rotate it and lock it into place. Point being is, today I plan on having some fun. Without further ado, let's go out and do some photographing. Well, I certainly hope you enjoyed this presentation, and you enjoyed the photographs, which I might remind you had been unedited, straight JPEG out of the camera or off the camera's memory card. But let's talk about something that I learned that I'd like to share with you. When I mounted this Summar lens on the M240, my Leica M240, circa 2015 digital camera, I forgot to take into account, even though I knew this, I forgot to take into account the fact that it's uncoated. Camera lenses today, they started to get coated in around the late 1940s. Now, what's the advantage of having a coated lens? Well, for one thing, it minimizes to eliminate the reflection on the surface of the lens, thus minimizing the flares that you might see on your camera, or I'm sorry, on your photograph. The remarkable thing is coated lenses also allow for more light to come into the camera. These are things that I didn't consider, because when I used a Summar lens yesterday, anytime I was, and let's not forget the field of view is at a 48 degrees, but anytime I was fundamentally not necessarily aiming straight at the sun or aiming at a composition where the sun was fundamentally straight in there or just even slightly out, I noticed the flares. I lost several, I shouldn't say I lost, several photographs were less than stellar, we'll say. But I couldn't do with this lens that I could do, say, with a modern digital camera and its lenses. I had to keep in mind where the sun was. It's one of those instances that I had to think about and remind myself. So, having said that, it was still nonetheless a great learning curve. I had a great time walking around Prescott yesterday evening with my youngest. She came up to visit me at the Zeus Prescott Center for the Arts when I was there, and then we went on a walkabout where I took some pictures. And the long and the skinny of it is, it was definitely a learning curve with this lens. So, to wrap it up, don't forget to subscribe. There's a button down there somewhere. Subscribe to this channel if you like it. It's a rough-hewn channel, certainly not a professional channel. Professional photographer by no means. Just a fun, just what I hope to be a fun time and throwing little tidbits of learning. So, without further ado, we'll catch you later.